The Police Ombudsman's Office was created in November 2000 to investigate complaints against the police in Northern Ireland. The office is independent, meaning that its investigators examine complaints without interference from the police, public officials, or indeed the complainants themselves. Conclusions are reached on the basis of the evidence that has been gathered during the course of an investigation. The police have many powers, including the right to use force and to take away someone's liberty. The Police Ombudsman's Office was set up to ensure that they do not misuse these powers. Although it is still a relatively young organisation, the idea of investigating complaints against the police has been around for a long time. However, around the world, the police themselves often play a part in examining some of these complaints. In England and Wales, for example, if a member of the public complains about a police officer, the matter is likely to be dealt with by either another officer from that force or an officer from a nearby force. Only very serious complaints are investigated by a specialist complaints organisation. This used to be the case in Northern Ireland, but when the peace process looked at the whole issue of policing here in more detail, it became clear that lots of people were worried about the fairness of the complaints system. They argued that if a police officer was accused of doing something wrong, then other police officers were not the best people to investigate. The government consulted lots of people in the search for a new system and were helped by the findings of two major studies. Both of these recommended that a new complaints organisation should be created and that it should be given more powers. It was decided that all complaints, however small, should come to the Police Ombudsman's Office. This feature, which makes the office different from other systems around the world, was seen as important in getting everyone to support the new way of doing things and reflected the unique challenges which faced Northern Ireland at the time. The steps taken to investigate an incident and the length of time it takes can vary depending on the nature of the allegations. The office looks at a very wide range of complaints about the police, from rude or uncivil behaviour, a failure to investigate crime properly, to assault or even death at the hands of an officer. For cases classed as minor misconduct, it may be possible for cases to be resolved informally. This involves the complainant and the police sitting down together to discuss what happened. Many people are simply looking for an explanation of why the police behaved in a certain way, or to receive an apology for something. However, if the allegations are more serious, then the investigation may be more complex. For example, it may be necessary to do a witness appeal, either through the media or by conducting door-to-door inquiries in the area. Anyone who may have seen the incident will be interviewed and their statements taken and assessed. The office does not take sides when investigating a complaint and understands that making a complaint against the police or having a complaint made against you can be a stressful experience. The rights of both sides are respected at all times. Both are given an opportunity to explain their version of events and can be interviewed at a place of their choosing. They can also get support from a friend or advisor if they want it. The investigators also try to get evidence from other places to help them understand what happened. This may involve asking local businesses if they have any CCTV cameras which might have recorded the incident. This footage will be obtained and checked for evidence. Other forensic techniques are also used, such as obtaining blood samples or seizing clothing or other police equipment for analysis. In cases such as assaults or deaths following contact with a police officer, sophisticated computer equipment is used to help an investigation. The Return to Scene camera, or R2S, is a special camera that can take a 360-degree shot at the scene. It helps investigators to get an overall picture of the area in which the incident took place, which can be vital if they are trying to piece together the sequence of events. The area under examination is cordoned off, and forensic clothing and gloves are worn by all of those who enter to make sure vital evidence is not contaminated. After filming has finished, the footage is analysed back in the office, and used to help the investigator decide whether the police acted properly. Once all of the evidence has been gathered, the investigator sits down with others to discuss the case and to decide whether the complaint should be upheld. For criminal cases, all of the evidence gathered during the investigation and a recommendation on what action should be taken against the officer is given to the Public Prosecution Service. They will then decide whether to take the case to court for a trial in front of a jury. If the investigator discovers that the police failed to investigate a crime properly, were rude to a member of the public, or were guilty of other misconduct, the police ombudsman can recommend that the officer or officers be disciplined. This could lead to advice and guidance being issued, a warning or a fine. It can even lead to an officer or officers being dismissed. Importantly, whether the complaint is upheld or not, the complainant has the right to expect no repercussions from making the complaint, and indeed can continue to make further complaints free of charge and without any prejudice.
The police have very many powers in society. They have the right to take someone's liberty, they have the right to use force. And that makes it extremely important that there is a strong, independent group that can oversee the work of the police. We're here to take complaints from those who feel that they have not received a good service from the police. That includes all sections of society and includes young people who have many contacts with the police themselves.
In summary, the Police Ombudsman's Office is there for everyone in Northern Ireland. It works hard to protect the rights of the public if they have been a victim of poor policing, but also gives police officers a way to clear their name if they are incorrectly accused of wrongdoing. The Police Ombudsman's Office continues to be an important part of the criminal justice setup in Northern Ireland and plays a crucial role in helping to make it a more just and fair society.